big gains for small banks, how standards of credit work with these institutions. I'm going to decode it in this video. You've got to watch this. Hey, Taimour, I'm from Alphonse Global. My organization helps businesses, especially accredited investors, leverage their assets, their cash, their seminars, their credit, so on, to access capital that the banks are primarily offering to their VIP clients. We can do this because of our relationships with a lot of banks, because of volume of transactions we give them, and because of our experience and expertise in this sector. The capital my clients are getting allows them to grow their business, expand their business, do project financing, and buy auxiliary businesses. Nothing that I offer in this video should be considered as legal nor financial advice. The purpose of this video is strictly for education and entertainment purposes. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, you may want to go and do so now. You'll get access to actionable insights, strategies that banks are offering that will financially impact your business forever. Make sure you subscribe now. Friends, we had a client calling us today with a very interesting problem, which I thought was fascinating. And this client was saying, hey, Taimour, we had a settlement of credit issued by one of the top banks in the world. I'm not going to mention the name of the bank, to a small bank. And for the purpose of storytelling, and this is only for the purpose of storytelling, I'll use some names so it's easier to paint the picture. And it will be, imagine it's like Barclays Bank offering a $500 million letter of credit for this client of ours. And they are sending the letter of credit to the no-name Bank of Iraq to monetize it. And they're going to get a lot of cash for the project financing requirements that they have. And so the first question that our client has, Taimour, how is it that I'm making so much money when I'm getting a letter of credit from Barclays Bank and I'm having a sent to the no-name Bank of Iraq? Like, how does that work? Reality is, when you give the no-name Bank of Iraq, the no-name Bank of Africa, the no-name Bank of Korea, pick anybody you want, investment grade paper, one of the many things you're doing is you're impacting the rating of the bank. Imagine you are the owner of the no-name Bank of Afghanistan, the no-name Bank of Timbuktu, and I give you a $500 million of credit from HSBC, from Barclays, to pick any of the top banks you want. What is the immediate impact on you? Well, once you get a letter of credit from one of the top banks, first of all, you can go to World Bank, you can go to maybe a central bank, you can get a 10 times, 20 times multiplier on that asset. So $500 million could become like a $5 billion credit facility, credit line for you as a no-name Bank of Iraq, as an example. But if you get an instrument of that size, I just want you to know from my 9.5 years of experience in this area, it impacts the investment grading, the credit rating of you and your financial institution, and this makes a big difference. Now, the challenge that our client had was sending a letter of credit with the languaging of the letter of credit to the receiving bank gave them a lot of challenges. And so they needed our help to go through an intermediary bank with that letter of credit so they can cash it out on the other hand. What is this about? When banks issue something called standby of credit, what they're doing is they're saying a standby of credit at the core of it is a guarantee for a bank to make a payment in case the client defaults. Banks issue letters of credit only under two conditions. One is the import-export going on, and the second is for credit enhancement or project financing requirements. Those are the two conditions that a bank would issue a letter of credit. There are lots of entrepreneurs around the world that require access to project financing, and they want to look at alternative funding sources so that they can get capital that retail banks, local banks simply are not giving them. When they want to do that, a popular proven vehicle to do that is to leverage letters of credit, standard letters of credit from the top banks. And when you take that standard of credit at a discounted rate from any of the top banks and sell it at a higher rate to a small bank, low credit rating bank, you're impacting the balance sheet of that bank. and oftentimes a monetizer, that corporation or the bank that's receiving it, is paying you handsomely. The pay that they're giving handsomely when they receive that instrument, this is a grade 5 level, is like a commission. Now, I would never use the word commission, but it's like a commission. And that's the term that joker brokers use as non-recourse loan. The real term for it is called limited recourse loan. So a monetizing bank is receiving a lot of credit from a bigger institution that has a high credit rating. And when they receive it, they're able to fund you or pay for that instrument. And that's how the entrepreneurs leveraging the instrument to get the project financing they require. Oftentimes the question becomes, or challenge becomes for a lot of entrepreneurs who don't have the experience and expertise like we do, and they say, okay, a standard of credit is getting issued from Bank A, but Bank B is not accepting the languaging of that. Why is that? And how do you solve it? Well, let me tell you, Allfunds Global has a capacity today we have the capacity to issue a standard of credits. I can proudly say we are issuers of SBLC, although we don't always issue it. We go through private banks that we work with to issue rated or non-rated SBLCs. I can tell you that I can issue credited instruments to entrepreneurs that can afford to pay for that instrument. As an issuer, when I'm issuing that instrument, the languaging of that instrument is partly a function of what's my risk appetite. What's my risk appetite? Second function is what are the laws, the jurisdictions, the legalities of that. So if I don't know you, and I'm not sure if I want to give you $100 million standard of credit, I may give you a lease standard of credit, but in the verbiage of the standard of credit, I will use words like, this instrument is backed by assets. Well, an instrument that's backed by assets is valued very, very differently compared to an instrument that's been backed by cash. An instrument that's backed by assets is priced very differently compared to an instrument that's backed by cash. I'll just say that as an example. So oftentimes you'll have issuers of letters of credit, standard of credit, issue instruments. And when you look at the fine print, the description, the languaging of the instrument, the receiving bank cannot use that instrument or the languaging for their benefit. So I will say you cannot call on the standard of credit. I'll give you the standard of credit, but you cannot call it. What that means is that on the expiry date of it, you cannot go and cash it in. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying that's how we issue SBLCs. All I'm saying is that oftentimes, when an issuer issues a letter of credit, they'll language a letter of credit oftentimes in ways that protects them. It manages the risk ratios, it takes care of the legalities and so on. The receiving side, so now if I'm the receiver of the letter of credit, and you're saying that I cannot call on it, and you're saying it's backed by assets, and you're saying whatever else you're saying, the languaging of the letter of credit, what that means is that I'm not sure if I want to pay a high loan to value, a high LTV for that instrument. It's not valued as much to me. Oftentimes, that would be best scenario. Worst scenario, this is worst scenario, I can't even accept the languaging of the SBLC. I simply cannot accept the languaging of the SBLC. Imagine that you run the known bank of Iraq as an example, and I'm going to give you an instrument from, let's say, Barclays Bank, but you cannot call on it. It's not cash back. It's not transferable. It's not this. It's not that. It's like all the benefits of SBLC. Like at some point, it has no value to you. So what you will find oftentimes is issuers and issuing banks will issue instruments in languaging that's not compatible to what the receiving bank wants to have. So that becomes oftentimes a challenge or a puzzle in the SBLC world. So how you solve for that is you bring an intermediary bank. There are lots and lots and lots of intermediary banks that for a fee, they will take the standard of credit with the way it is languaged. Right? Whatever it is language, they'll take it. But for a fee, they will then issue a standard of credit from their own bank to the receiving bank in the languaging that you want the receiving bank to accept it as. So if you're running the known bank of Iraq's bank, and you want an instrument that's 500 million, that does this, and it's cash back, and it's transferable, divisible, irrevocable, I can go on and on and on. But the issue of the SBLC is not languaging in that way. You want an intermediary bank that for a fee, and I'm not going to tell you what the fees are. We'll go ahead and course correct this. Now, there's a massive risk when entrepreneurs do this, and there's a very, 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 very simple way of solving for that risk. I do not offer that massive insights for free on our YouTube channel. That insight is available to our members when they participate in our seminars, especially our offshore events or our seminars. I'm happy to share our intellectual property in that environment.
I'm going to talk about Alon's Global Banking Innovation Conferences. Around the world, we get together and we put bank CEOs from different geographies that apply and participate in different regulators to come together and talk about their capabilities. What we've been able to do very successfully is putting small and medium-sized bank CEOs in an Airbnb for a period of time to get to know each other, to get out of their heads, to go out of their businesses, and be able to discover new ahas and insights and share resources with each other. That's made an exponential impact. If you're a CEO of a bank, you want to for sure sign up. Check us out. Check out the testimonials from multiple bank CEOs about what they've accomplished from coming to our gatherings.
And we would love for you to join us and discover how you can access alternative funding with Alon Global.
You won't regret it.
My name is Taimour Zaman from Alon Global. I hope you found this video valuable. If you did, I'd love to get some comments at the bottom of this on what did you learn, what did you take away, and what are you going to do with some of the insights. Thank you.
Yes, so I would like to first say thank you because you have made a very big difference. I think I spoke to you when you started it a few years ago, and I've been a big fan. I've been following you, and you have made a very big difference for entrepreneurs like us, who had tried different programs, invested a lot of money. So you are very, honestly, a blessing. And I really pray that God keep giving you that strength to keep guiding people in doing successful business and everything like that. So that's what I wanted to say to start.
Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Taimour, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. If you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of Alon Global. You simply go to our website, alonsglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Taimour, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within Alon Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with the central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiple. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now it's not free money, it's a line of credit of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with. And you know, in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%. Same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever you bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now it's not free money, it's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within Allfunds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a consultation fee. Allfunds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes, this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Taimour, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything, ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. You know, we never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate. They're hardworking people. I know them. They deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within Alphonse Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Taimour, Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Taimour, all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them as just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow, we have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is the industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is the industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence. Listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world. And I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimour, we love all the services of Alphonse Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out it. Like we don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in to that, you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is, if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimour, I'm from All Funds Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.